He's from Illinois, folks. Let's hear it for Dave DeWade. Gotta back up, guys. Gotta back up. Good luck, guys. Happy splashdown.
St. Paul, Minnesota. Go Minnesota. And Illinois. Good luck. Minnesota. Minnesotans here from Minnesota. Good luck, guys. You guys want to go down easy too? Hampton, Ohio, there's a Buckeye, huh? Well, good luck. Glad to see you in Celina. Thanks for coming. Where you from? Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, right here. Where from in California? Amphicar, California. That was a long drive. Thanks for coming and spending it with us. Well, good luck with your fish back there. First time this car's been water, that is crazy and Dave DeWade. Charlotte, Illinois, beautiful piece. Thanks for coming to Sunday Festival. Clever, all them guys. We're glad you came and enjoyed with us. Happy boating. All right. 41 hours drive to come here and splash down in the hot water hole. Thank you. Yeah, go for it. In Florida. 20 hours from Florida. Minnesota, what's good? Stillwater, Minnesota, you're coming to Grand Lake. We're glad to have you. Thanks for coming. Shoot, where are these guys coming from? All is your name? I'm Moses. Scott Moses, are you as crazy as Dave DeWade? Don't want to say that. Thank you for coming, folks. Hey! What's that? Painesville, Ohio. Oh, that's good. Don't worry, oh my. There goes the queen and her court. Queen and her court's gonna have a fun ride. Been 2 cars earlier. You'd have 4 girls sitting back there on the trunk. She's going real fast. Hey, come on.
Okay, my name is Nick Crispin. This is my wife Tina. This is a 1967 Amphicar. We've owned it for about, I don't know, 6 years or so, and just about got all the bugs worked out of it, and so we're enjoying it this weekend.
It's our 4th year being here.
4th consecutive year at Celina.
First year we didn't bring our car. We went home, worked on it. We've brought it ever since then. We go in the water a lot. Went to the island. We've been exploring. What else we do? Had a lot. It's ran really good this year too, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my name is Chris, and this is Ray, and he's our last name is Hanloser, and we're from Brooklyn, Michigan, and we've had our Amphicar 18 years next month. It was seaworthy when we got it. The only thing it didn't have was a master cylinder, right?
Right.
And we fully restored it in 1994, and we take it out, well, he recently retired. We bought a house in Florida, so now we can take it out mostly almost 12 months out of the year. And we take it out as often as we can. We live in the Irish Hills in Michigan where there's a lot of lakes. So basically that's about it. And this is probably our 6th or 7th swim in here. So.
Bruce Smith, I'm from Monroe, Michigan. I've had the car for about 15 years. I've restored it about 8 years ago. I use it every chance I get. And you don't want to ever be up this creek without this paddle.
Let's go again. Let's try one more time with it more vertical.
Yeah, Jim, my name is Roger Celina. I reside in Lake Ozark, Missouri. I became crazy about Amphicars about 9 years ago when I semi-retired. I've since owned all or parts of about 44 Amphicars. This is one car which I will keep. I searched nationwide to find an original unrestored car. This particular Amphicar is a 1964. It was won by a lady in Gregory, South Dakota from a radio station in a sweepstakes giveaway. I bought it from her daughter, who's now about 70 years old after she passed away. The car was seldom ever used, so hence all the original paint. It's kind of a help to us who restore cars because we can look at it and see how everything came out of the factory. But Amphicars are great. I'm happy to be in Celina and appreciate the hard work that Mark Schlemmer, Dave Dare, and all the guys have done to show us a good time.
There we have the back seat of the car being used for playing cards.
You can use that car for anything.
Hi, I'm Mike Israel. This is my 1965 Amphicar. I'm from Royersford, Pennsylvania. Most of you probably know me as the person who started and runs the Amphicar Lovers Digest, the internet mailing list, which many of you probably subscribe to. This car I bought from the original owner down in Virginia. It was a fellow who had a development called Egypt Bend Estates in Luray, Virginia. And so originally the name of the development was painted alongside the car, and he used it to take out prospective buyers of his waterfront properties. When he died, the son repainted it. It sat in storage for a good 10 years, and then I bought it, and been slowly but surely getting it back up to snuff, and been a lot of fun.
Okay, my name's Robert Fondrasic. I'm from Valparaiso, Indiana, and I really like light and small, and I couldn't stand all the trailers that I borrowed because they were so big, and that's when I designed this. I like to design things and couldn't find anyone to build it, and so I decided to get into the trailer business. I found a guy that liked to do custom, and they're rare. So they're not so big trailer company. My dad pulled, well, first of all, everyone came by and said, oh, that car's really cool, but I bet you can't pull a skier. I knew it would. I knew it was fast enough because my dad pulled me out of the water when I was 5 years old just by jerk. He stood on the beach and I was in the water and he just pulled me out. And so I knew this thing could pull a light kid, so I did it.
And we will walk around and we will not touch it.
Hi, I'm Chuck, and this is Deanna. We're the Reiners. We're from Fraser, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. We have a 1962 Amphicar, and we've had the car about almost 2 years now. The car originally came from Quebec, Canada, and we take it out as frequently as possible. This is our second national meet we've been to. We take it out as often as humanly possible. We've been to, I think, 4 major meets already this year, and we've had it out quite a few other times in between. And we really enjoy our car tremendously. We've gotten a lot of use out of it and get more out of it as each year passes by.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Yelton and this is Judy. And we're having a wonderful time in Celina, Ohio. We bought the flag and we're very proud of our flag, and as everybody else is. And we're up here just kind of showing off and having a great time in Celina, Ohio. This is a 2002 Peterbilt. It was built in 2001 of September, and so by Peterbilt to show our appreciation with a wonderful flag. Thank you very much. Oh, and also we brought our Amphi with us, as we call them. They are our boat, a half a boat. But this is a 1965 model. And this car come from Columbus, Ohio, which I've had for approximately 20 years, which is not really new condition, but it is a good swimmer. But we're real proud of them. These are, the Amphis are, as I'm speaking, it was President Johnson's most favorite pastime on his ranch in Texas. And it makes you smile just to think that our president at one time was very unique enough to have his Amphicar. Thank you.
I'm Randy Cook. We got Larry Cook Amphicar Restoration in Missouri, Barnett. Just a small town, not a lot of people. But anyway, this is a car that we restored. We did quarter panels from here down, made our own sheet metal, did the whole fender well housing, engine compartment. We build door skins for doors, do all our own sheet metal. And then this is a new product that we're doing right now, fiberglass deck lid for Amphicars. And they're all complete. And this car here, we're going to try to sell it like it is or completely together.
Okay, you.
Hi, we're the Borchards. I'm Nick. This is Sandy, Steven, and Liz. This is our '67 Amphicar. We purchased it in St. Louis in 1988. It took about 8 years to restore. It was in pretty bad shape when we got it. It was pretty much like a piece of Swiss cheese, holes all over it. But we take it in all the lakes and rivers, daily driver in and out of the water. A lot of features on it are, we've got a different antenna, which is a fishing pole, and bilge pump. We have a fish, just to personalize the car a little bit. This is our 4th year to Celina.
5th year.
5th year to Celina, and we have a great time every year. This is the 3rd year we're bringing the car, but I don't know if there's anything else you want to add.
Well, coming to these, we realize how lucky we are to be close to water. We realize there's a lot of people that don't have the easy access that we do, and it makes it a lot more fun to have the car that way because we use it all the time. But we've really enjoyed coming to Celina. It's been a great place, a very welcoming place, and it's great to see all the cars.
Hi, I'm Steve Reich.
I'm Connie Gonsi.
We're from the San Diego area, Del Mar. This is our '64 Amphi. This is our freshwater car. We have another one that's a saltwater car, again a '64. Unfortunately, that one is sitting in my driveway in pieces, waiting to be repainted since the salt water really does a job on this. This Amphi, though, is in pretty good shape, bought pretty much restored. Of course, it requires all the maintenance that Amphis do, so something's falling off on basically every trip, so we're putting it back together. This trip it was a tailpipe. We'll get that squared away soon. But otherwise, this is my second trip to Celina and Connie's first. So it was a real treat to have our car here and actually be among 60 of Amphi's best friends and relatives.
Okay, shall we just start talking? Okay, hi, I'm Jim Passault, and this is my better half, Patty.
Hi there.
This is our 1964 Amphicar. We purchased it pretty much in the shape it is last summer from Richard Sally down in Missouri. And we're putting it in the water today for the first time for us. We had it in the water last summer when we were with Roger in Missouri, but we haven't had it in the water yet, so this will be a virgin splash-in for us, swim-in, and we're looking forward to it. And we wanted this picture to see what it looked like above water.
Our home is in Naples, Florida, and so far we've had it in a couple of parades there, and this is quite an exception in Naples. They do have a lot of nice antique cars, but nothing like this. So it's really a little showpiece there, and we've enjoyed that. We've done, what, 2 or 3 now?
Yep.
And it's great. So we belong to that antique club, and that's a lot of fun too, even above water.
Hi, my name's Tim Allred. I'm from Pendleton, Indiana. This is our second year to come to the Amphicar Fest. I found the car through one of my employees that worked for me. First I didn't think he was telling me the truth, and then we sat down and I got to see the car and ended up buying it. We're actually street riders. I have quite a few street rides and classic cars that have been restored. And we also like boating, so this is kind of like the mix of all and keeps all of us happy. So we really enjoy the Amphicars and all the nice people.
Billy 6, Mays Landing, New Jersey. You have a secondary latch on your door, and that's really a panic latch, but as the cars are old and deteriorated, they actually are very helpful to keep the doors very tight to keep the water from coming in. And engage your propellers and go. That's the whole point of the car, is to make this an easy transition. Will do. Smile and wave. Excuse me, does that go on land? Which way is the interstate? The cars can handle some serious chop and serious weather as long as you have your top up. The cars are slow, but they will get you there. They're unbelievably sturdy in the water, and also they're very difficult to swamp. That would be your worst case scenario in a boating situation, is if your engine gets swamped. Now you're stuck. But these engines, they get wet, and the experiences I've had, even doing my water wheelie, diving into the water fast, the engines still, even if they do get wet, they still keep running. And maybe they'll miss on a cylinder or something for a little while, but spark plug wires and distributor cap, as soon as they dry out, the car will start running on 4 cylinders again, and you can keep going. So they're pretty safe and reliable in general, considering and you got to consider the age. They're 43 years old, you know, and these were really only prototypes. They never really made enough to make any improvements on the cars. This is the way they started building them right from the very first car, and that's what they had to do till they got to the very last car, and they were all the same.
We're from St. Louis, Missouri. It's Nick and Tina, and Ed from San Diego.
Sort of.
Sort of. He doesn't have his car here this weekend, so we got our car here, and it's been running great, hasn't it, Nick?
Yeah, no problems at all.
No problems. So awesome to be out here in the water like this, just floating around. We're heading towards the Eagles for the day,
Another
I guess.
great day on the lake.
On the lake.
Nobody's sunk yet. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
No major problems.
We met a lot of new people this year. Different people came. First people had their car in the water at this time. First time this year.
This is the way to go.
It is. Awesome.
When I'm approached by people who want to know about the history of the Tropel Amphicar, I like to try to get their imagination to fire. The discussion starts out as to why we don't have these cars today, what happened to them, what happened to the company, how many did they make, why didn't they sell, why didn't they catch on, that kind of thing. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that, but at the same time, I'd like them to consider that had the idea actually caught on and sales came back into the company and they actually did sell cars and they started to make money, they certainly would have reinvested in the company and redesigned the cars and made them better and better, like all car companies do. So let's take the scenario of the car did succeed and they sold a lot of them. Let's say they did make their sales goal, which I think was an expectation of maybe 20,000 units in the first year. Well, then 20,000 of these things would have been out that one year, and of course the following years. So instead of there being just 4,000 of these made, there would have been hundreds of thousands of them made over a few years. Now, what kind of Amphicar would we have today? How many cars on the road that would be normal use cars that people have would also have that dual capability of being amphibious as well? We might even have amphibious Lincolns and Cadillacs, and we'd be taking people to weddings and funerals and limousine rides, you know, and amphibious vehicles would be in everybody's garage. That was probably the dream or the goal of the main inventor, Hans Tropel. So I'd like people to think about that when they look at this, to remember that this is only one of 4,000 cars made. And although it works great, it certainly could have left a lot of room for improvement. But in today's world, just think about the problems they would have. Like every time you hit the water, the airbag would go off. So that's a reason. That's a little bit of pro and con as to why we don't have them today.
Hey, tell us, as we pull out, tell us a little bit about anything that you need to do whenever you're pulling out of it.
Okay, exiting the water, you should know what your ramp is. Right now we have a little underwater dock situation here, so I know where the ramp is. That's what that little cement block is to mark it, okay? There's many ways you can approach your ramps, but mechanically, the only thing you really need to do is put the clutch in, put the land drive in first gear. When you let your clutch back out, both propellers and wheels are spinning simultaneously. And depending upon how you hit the ramp and how much gas you give it is how smooth it'll come out of the water. If you have a situation where you need to get out of the water because you're tired, you ran out of gas, your car's leaking or something, the car is very good at climbing out of sand and dirt. Sometimes you can even do mud with it. If you need to get out and you're having problems getting out because the car doesn't have the power or the ability to climb, you simply back up 20 feet or so and then put the car back in gear again and go faster until you're actually able to climb out. Cheesy system. So I was actually able to climb out of a small dirt abutment just by banging the car up on it, which, you know, I wouldn't advise, but I'm mentioning this because I'd like to get out that these cars are sturdy and they can do this stuff. People think that they're not that strong or won't be able to climb out of things. They can climb out of pretty much anything.
I'm Ron Wyan.
Terry Wyan.
Stacy Getz and our son Logan.
Stacy is our niece. This is our second time down here. We've had this 1964 Amphicar for 1 year now. At the show last year, we entered it in the car show just as a lark. We got home, and 3 weeks later, we got the first place prize in the import division. And we just did it for fun. We're from Troy, Michigan, and this is Terry's car. We call it Terry's Ferry. And we're just having a lot of fun with it swimming. To me, it's unbelievable, the reaction of people. I really don't get it. Wherever we take it, there's crowds of people around. And I wanted a Model A and she wanted a boat, so this is like the perfect combination. It drives like a Model A and it swims like a boat.
So here you just came from the swap meet, so tell us what you just got there.
Oh, well, my kids won't be going to college. I just picked up a nice set of new shocks here and some rubber bits and thingies. All sorts of stuff you didn't know you need till you get here and see you need them. So.
Hello, I'm Steve Aquinto from Canton, Michigan, and this is my fish car, 1964. I spent about 3 years rebuilding it, and this is my first full summer with it. I have had it in the water about 4 times now.
Have you come to many of these shows at all, or?
Second show. Hope to be at more of them.
Good afternoon, my name is Ken Roy from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm selling used Amphicar parts. I've accumulated them for 25 years and I've had about 8 cars, and I'm no longer going to restore any, and so I'm selling all my parts to anybody that wants it. I'm doing a really good deal today. I've been doing this for 3 years and sold a lot of parts for pretty cheap, giving somebody a break, making a few extra bucks, so we're all happy. Brakes, brand new brake cylinders, rebuilt, re-sleeved brake cylinders, U-joints for steering wheel, fan blades, bad trim, very bad trim, bad master cylinders, radios, and miscellaneous stuff. Axles down at that end, swing arms, axles, propeller shafts, just a little of everything. And for everybody that bought something from me, I hope you enjoy them, and thank you very much. Have a good day.
It's Tom Jones from Sun Prairie. Yesterday you interviewed me, but I have my little trailer with me. This is called a half amp. It was a Amphicar that was in a real bad fire and was all twisted and warped, and we cut it apart and built the trailer out of the front, and it floats, tows down the road fine. Underneath I got lots of room when you got one of these out. There's 2 coolers in there, my cleaning supplies, a couple lawn chairs, gas-powered blender for mixing your smoothies, and still got a few little improvements to work on it. It floats good and everything.
So can you just drive right into the water?
Drive it right in the water with the trailer behind you, keep right on going. It's got a bilge pump in the floor, automatic bilge pump. Run the electrical wires from the car back to the bilge pump, and the brake lights and tail lights work. And thought it'd be kind of cool to have something extra this year and pull behind the car. Had the piece laying over and didn't know what to do with it, didn't want to throw it away, and it was too bad to make a car out of, so we cut it apart and built the trailer.
It was. This is on 99% of the cars came with this. Mine has it. Still have it on my car today.
Yeah. So I would have taken it. I didn't know that. I would have put that back on.
But now I have a very limited supply of this, I should say. I only have maybe enough to do. Well, that's something new we had manufactured. Yeah, there's that pump there. Yeah, they're opposite.
So there's the vent rubber.
I am replacing my points. I drove my car here 500 miles, and if I can find my old coins, those are burnt points. They're pretty nasty looking, and I want to make sure I get home. So you do what you have to do. Turns out not to be a big job. Got my tools.
Better safe than sorry.
Got some good people here. Better safe than sorry. You got people here that carry spare parts and willing to share, and can't beat it. When cars were cars.
Yeah. And people could work on them.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a new condenser in there too. So.
Plenty of room to work. Yep. Yep. We'll get them set. We'll get it running.
I drink it through chopstick, and I'm ready to
No. They're $110. They're on special. $110. See, I knew they were on sale. These are the most common parts that people need, they break down when they're on an event like this. And this way, all the swimming in the lake is a continuous event. There's no interruptions due to a broken fan belt or a starter motor or whatever. And then they can also actually see the items as opposed to thinking about them, you know, brake hoses break and so forth. So that's why we're here. And it gives the dual purposes. It shows that we really are a three-dimensional entity. We exist and we do have parts. So it serves everybody really well. It helps out, you know.
And you bring basically a van load full, or
just a van, yes, not full, but you know, the key items for the swimming.
Okay.
So, and it's non-stop selling and working and helping
And since I'm helping him, he's giving me a cut.
I am. Yes.
You want a drink?
I was trying to tell you how easy this job was. It only took 6 of us to get it going. And here's the star of the show right here. Bruce Smith.
He just did that how long ago, Bruce? He just did have the stroke today?
Yeah.
We're Mark and Elizabeth Schlemmer, and we're from Burlington, Kentucky, and we're up here in Celina for actually we're here for the 5th year. This is the 10th annual convention of the Amphicar Club, and we're here with our 1965 Amphicar. We restored it ourselves, did pretty much everything except the body work, put it all back together. Elizabeth is responsible for keeping it clean and looking good. She's the detail person. She hand stitched the interior and has done an awful lot of work keeping it good, and we have a lot of fun with it. We enjoy coming to the swim-ins and have a great time. Actually, I happen to be the president of the International Amphicar Owners Club, and myself and the other board members organize this event each year in Celina. This year we've had 61 Amphicars here all weekend. We've had a great time. We've had a lot of swimming, lots of time socializing. We're here at a swap meet today. We're going to have a banquet and dinner later on this evening. Really a great time. We've got T-shirts that Doug and Phyllis Parsons put together, name tags for all the people Mike and Glenda Maven do, and it's really a big event that goes on here all weekend. Elizabeth actually has one of the bigger jobs all weekend. She's responsible for all the registration. Everybody that comes to the event, they are directed to Elizabeth. She logs them in, gives them dash plaques, and signs them in and gives them a schedule of events. And the dash plaques this year are a great hit also. Dave Dare gets those each year. It's a shot of the Amphicars in the water from a helicopter a few years back. Really a great dash plaque.
My name's Rick Young. This is my wife Jo, my daughter Ava. We are from Tennessee. We live in Murfreesboro, just outside of Nashville.
And we were just talking about your daughter rides along. Does she seem to enjoy it and stuff like that when you go to water?
Oh yeah, this is the first weekend she's really been out in the car in the water, and I don't think she realizes that she's doing something unusual yet. She's not old enough, but yeah, she enjoys it.
Say,
Hi, my name is Steve Mankey. This is my wife Agnes, my daughter Nicole, and my daughter Abby. We're from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and we've had our Amphicar for about 13 years. And it floated when we bought it. I actually drove it home, but after about 2 years or so, it started to leak pretty bad, so we needed to tear it apart. And 5 years later, it saw the road again. The girls enjoy it. Nicole, do you like going out in the car? Yeah. Would you like to say something? She pretty much thinks that everybody has one. She's grown up in it. She was a baby. She was just months old, and she was out swimming in it, and she doesn't know life without an Amphicar. So she's pretty lucky.
You get out to a lot of shows and things with it?
We try to take it out. We make it to the national meet every year, and a few regional meets with some friends. Not too many non-Amphi events though, but it is a lot of fun. It's a show every time I go to the gas station. So everybody, it's about an hour just to go down the street to the gas station because everybody pulls in and has a million questions. And since we're from Wisconsin, of course, our national symbol is cheese. So there's a cheese head on the antenna. This is 1964 model, red, most common color.
I'm Bill Connolly. You might know me as Bilge Master. I drove up to the 10th annual International Amphicar Owners Club meeting here in Celina, Ohio, which is great. From Springfield, Virginia, which is about 540 miles. It took me about 12 hours, straight through.
What kind of roads did you take here?
Interstates, side roads, occasional cornfields, whatever it took. It's not bothered.
Very good. And you maintain the website and all that?
Yeah, that's right. I take care of the website, and you know, it's a lot of fun, and you get to meet a lot of interesting people. I'm sure you know that by now if you've been watching.
And how long have you been collecting Amphicars and all that then?
Well, I got this one. I don't really collect them. It's the only one I got. I'm at the lower economic threshold of Amphicar ownership. Yeah, we all live in an elevator shaft, and I got this one back in 1994 at a price that most people ask me not to talk about.
Very good. And it looks like you've had it in the water here recently there. Do you get it out in the water much? Or?
Yeah, just giving some rides to some folks that were, you know, wandering around hereabouts, all interested about it.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Righto. Hi, I'm Bill Bilgemaster Connolly, and this is John the Captain Bevins, and we are about to drive the car into the river. Thank you.
And we are hoping to drive it back out.
Yeah, that's the real trick.
That's
some kind of train here. And in we go. Thank you very much.
I saved your beer.
Oh, good.
From Celina. Yeah.
That's what you call a sloppy water entry. Yeah. I take care of the website, basically just managing it. But John here is one of the fellows who basically provides lots of content, like online manuals and whatnot. He has some CDs that'd be worthwhile. If you're just getting an Amphicar, you should definitely look into it.
There's a lot of information out, more information out there now than there ever was, though. 5 years ago, you could go to every Amphicar website that's out there and look at everything available on the web in a couple hours.
Yeah, easily. But
which
yeah.
I did many times, just hoping that there's something more.
Something better.
There's got to be something more out there.
Yeah, in fact, that's one of the reasons I started this Amphicar Net was because it just gave people sort of a free form. There's Amphicar.com, which is, you know, the club's website, and there's also Amphicar.net, which is more of a free-form place that actually feeds a lot into the club's website, because, you know, obviously most of the people interested in these are members of the club, so it just gives them a place where they can, you know, do up a website that they like. You know, if they're interested in like alien abductions and amphibious vehicles, we don't care, you know. And there's no pop-ups, and it's, you know, perfectly free. Basically the types of lubricants that most people who know better, you know, use in an Amphicar would be like Amsoil, which is a synthetic lubricant that's very, very water resistant, which obviously has some pluses. You may have noticed you're in the middle of a lake. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Yeah, and like the sales commissions for that, that's what pays for it.
Well, let's see. About a few months ago, my brother-in-law Ted and I decided to take my Amphicar, and as usual, there's a small lake not too far from where I live called Lone Tree. So we did our usual, Ted screaming like a little girl and me flying into the lake at third gear and hit the lake and laugh, ha ha ha, take off across the lake. Cruising around for about a half an hour, we look up and from a distance and we see a sheriff pull up to the boat ramp. Thought nothing of it, you know, they were just doing the patrol, and then an ambulance pulled up. And I looked at Ted and said, well, I certainly hope it's nothing serious, and we continued about our merry little way, and then a pumper truck, and another ambulance, another pumper truck, 2 more sheriffs, 3 state patrols, 4 or 5 rescue people, and then the one that left no doubt why they were there was the dive rescue team showed up. So we kind of got a good laugh, motored across the lake, drove on out, pulled up. Lots of chuckles and ha-has and pictures being taken by all the officers except one.
Yeah, you see a lot of people frantically dialing 911. Oh, he's going to kill himself in his car. It's so terrible. What has driven him to this? You know. Okay.
So they
clearly in Colorado they have more manpower. You know, usually like where I'm from, Washington, they just drag. You know.
Drag for the bodies.
Yeah, get the bodies out of there.
So the one cop comes up to the car, you know, his chest all puffed out, you know, there's got to be the one for some reason. Well, all the others are laughing and having a great old time taking photographs. And
yeah.
I need to see your driver's license and registration. We had a report of a car driving in the water. Yeah, sure did. Yeah, I didn't think there was.
And this is.
Where's this going? So I hand him all my paperwork, and several of the other officers there, they come over and, oh, drive it back in the water. We want to see how it works. And so I did the whole thing, big splash, and lots of yah-yah clapping, and they come back out. That cop rushes back over to me, hands me my driver's license. Your driver's license is expired. You're going to find somebody else to drive this rig home. I said, well, fine, my brother-in-law Ted can do that. He drives it all the time. But for now, I'm going to go back out in the water where I'm legal. Goodbye. Took my license, drove back out in the water. Yeah.
I don't really have that kind of problem where I am. They're usually pretty happy to see me. The place where I usually go in is like Potomac River, just south of DC. Also the Occoquan River, which is a tiny river, but very nice. And they've seen me tow back enough weekend boaters whose engines have died that I'm basically, a good guy. And they see me enough, and it's just so odd. You're supposed to have like, the stickers and the numbers and everything on the side. And I used to have like the little magnetic stickers with the numbers, and I just don't bother anymore. I don't care. So I'm pretty lucky where I am.
They get to know you. I'm on first name basis with most of them. Especially now, after they, for the 50th time see you drive in. No, he's supposed to do that. But one of these times, somebody's really going to drive in the lake there, on accident. Oh, no, he does that all the time. That's all right.
Yeah. I've heard stories about that, like where somebody there was one couple that was in a Cadillac and was following an Amphicar, and I guess it was pretty dark, fairly foggy. And apparently the wife advised her husband, oh, go ahead, George. It must be really shallow here. Celina's really good to us here because, we've been talking about some of the, hassles you can get by, befuddled public servants. Yeah, it'll happen occasionally, but it's more, from my experience, more the exception than the rule. And here in Celina, Ohio, you couldn't hope for better support from the town and the people, which is why we've been coming here. This is now the 5th year that we've had our annual convention here in Celina, and really the city and the people here just said you couldn't have asked for a better place. And what's kind of weird is that there was some talk a couple of years ago, really just sort of talk for the sake of it, about maybe we should move the event around a little bit, cater more to people here, there, the other place. And the president of the International Amphicar Owners Club is Mark Schlemmer, and we were just talking about this, and hey, I wonder what the actual real center is for, the Amphicar universe. So what I did was I took the latitude and the longitude of all of the club members' addresses, and I digitized it so it wasn't like minutes and seconds, and I threw it all into, pretty simple, into an Excel spreadsheet. And then I did an average, which would give you the actual central location. And it turns out that it's less than 1 minute, 1 degree of latitude and longitude. It's not terribly far from here. It's less than something like 40 miles.
Nothing.
You check out the website, statistically it's the chances are something like 1 in 228,000 or something like that. It's amazing. So clearly we belong here. And
they treat us with open
arms. They do. They really go all out for us.
Hi, I'm John Capone from Schaumburg, Illinois. I've had my Amphicar for about 1.5 years now. Just enjoy putzing around with it. I've been in a few swims. I just got done putting a new engine in it about a month ago. Before this swim, I had some problems, but I'm happy to be back in the water, having a good time with all my friends, and I think it's one of the greatest cars made. I love it. I've always wanted one since I'm a kid, and I'm just finally glad I've got one now.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Parsons.
I'm Doug Parsons.
I'm Chad Parsons.
And we have a red 66. We've been coming to this meet since it started. We go as many as we can, and we swim a lot. We live by a lake, so every chance we get, we're in the water.
Okay, see you later. Thanks.
Hello there. How are you?
Enjoying yourself?
Yeah, having a ball. You're from Zanesville,
Yeah, we're from Zanesville, Ohio.
Let's look at your hat there. Very nice. Thank you. Okay.
Parade time. Yeah. Hot tub.
And don't get too close to the announcers, Ken. Don't get too close to these guys. They might get you wet. Last night, 55 of these boys cruised and splashed right into Grand Lake St. Mary's. Once again, they all congregated here, and we thank them. The Amphicar, the only original production vehicle made that has home of land and sea. Made during the 1960s, the Amphicar is a two-door convertible with dual props and a bilge pump with a top speed of 75 miles per hour on land and about 10 miles an hour in the water. We'll be glad to race across any lake. But we'll start in the middle of the parking lot. About 3,700 cars were made in Germany, with the majority of these coming to the United States. Of these, an estimated 600 or so are still functioning. These cars sold for around $3,000 in their day. Today, each one of these priced $25,000. Not heard of for a car just in good condition. The International Amphicar Owners Club, back for its 5th year, to hold its 10th annual convention in Celina, Ohio during the Lake Festival. They invite you to visit their website, Amphicar.com.
So how was your time in the parade?
It was great. This is the best weather we've ever had. So usually you're scorching or you're getting rained on. So this was wonderful.
This is our first year, and we had a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. Hello.
This is my family. I'm Fred Craig. This is my wife Donna. That's Norma. That's Lori, and Jessica, and Sarah, and number 1 Fred, number 2 or something. There's another Fred. That's all I know. And there's Danny, and another Dan, his dad, and there's Adam, and Scotty, and Debbie. Debbie, you got Debbie? Okay, that's us. There's 12 of us all together. So there's 3 generations, and we've had this Amphicar since 1970. And we enjoy watching Amphicars, enjoy riding in them. And I guess this is about a 4th time we've been down here. And we love to come down to Celina. All the grandchildren can drive it now. And so it won't be long, it'll be sunk. You know. My wife bought it for us, for me, on Father's Day, back in '70. And the guy that owned the used car dealership, he brought it to the house, and he took me up to a small lake in our area, showed me how to put it in and take it out. And I was really appreciative. The guy didn't know that much about it, you know.
Tell him how much you paid for it.
We paid $1,300 for it, which back then was not much money. And it's been worth every dime. It's been a good, dependable car. She drove it for quite a while back and forth to work as a second car. And she tells me it attracted a lot of men. And I thought it would attract women, but it attracted more men, she tells me. So I don't know that story. She didn't tell me till 30 years later, you know. So, but we've been very happy with it. It's good transportation. It's fun, and we have really enjoyed it. And now the next generations down there are just waiting anxiously. You can see them down there. Look, they look angry almost. You know, that I'm still here. You know? Is it all right? Am I doing okay? Huh? You want to say something? No. Oh, okay.
Beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sand and watches the ships that go sailing. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to beyond the star, it's near
First of all, certainly want to thank everybody for coming. It was a great weekend. It was good weather. We had a great turnout. We had officially 61 Amphicars. Certainly not bad, and the town once again has just, each year it seems like they do more and more for us. The Holiday Inn Express has just bent over backwards. The Eagles Lodge here, they provided the tent for us out there, and electricity and everything. And the entire town of Celina has really done a great job, and they absolutely love us. So that's good. As far as the club's going, everything's going pretty good. We've got more members now than ever. We've got about 320 members. Financially, we're doing great. As you can see from the report, we're getting to the point that we're feeling a little more stable and have a feel for what things cost, and that's a good thing, so that's good. We have a few things that we always do each year, and one of them that people have kind of grown accustomed to seeing is Amphicar always brings an Amphibian of the Year award, and it's quite an award. Is this the fourth year for the award? It's always a big hit. So let's let's bring Amphicar up here and get things started.
Thank you for the warm applause. I won $5 in the lottery, and what you just did was better. Thank you. Amphicar here to announce this year's winners of the Amphibian of the Year Award. But before I reveal the names of the winners, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of our past Amphibian of the Year Award winners. These guys did what it takes to win by helping to keep Amphicars afloat, helping to keep Amphicar owners afloat, and by spreading the joy of amphibious lifestyle to pretty much anyone who will listen. The past winners: Hugh Gordon. Hugh, are you here? Stand up. And 2000. And then in 2001, it was Bilge Master Bill Conley. Bilge. How are you, Bill? 2002, we had John Fishbone Bivens. Where are you, John? Mike Yahoo Israel, and our illustrious club president, Mark Schlemmer. All right, now the 2003 Amphibian Award goes to two gentlemen who have actually based their careers in Amphicars. Now think about that for a minute. Your income based on Amphicars. Whoa.
Drugs, damn it.
Lord have mercy. They have done time on numerous TV programs, newscasts, and countless interviews on behalf of Amphicars and their owners. You may have recently seen them on an episode of Junkyard Wars. And by coincidence, they both have yellow Amphicars. So without further ado, this year's Amphibian Award winners are Billy Splash King 6 and Dave the Wave. Thank you very much. What? Give me a hug. You want to say a few words? Hurry up, people are hungry. Say something.
Please don't paint it yellow.
Hurry up, people are hungry.
This is excellent. Thank you very much. This is the most wonderful group of people I have ever met in my entire life. This is great. Thank you.
Billy, please keep on your pants.
Hey, take your award. Get out of here. You want to say something?
Okay, all right. No, this is a fabulous thing, and it's the people that make the Amphicars. It's a love thing. It really is. I've been blessed by God to be here with you people, and I love you, man. No, it is. That's awesome. You got the Colorados, we got the Californians, we got the Ohioans, and the New Yorkans, and the New Jerseyans. Yeah. So thank you very much.
All right.
It's you guys.
Round of applause. I have one more award to award. This year we would also like to take a moment to recognize one of our club's greatest unsung heroes. Someone who has tirelessly given from behind the scenes with little to no fanfare. A special someone who represents all the spouses of Amphicar owners. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation on behalf of all our spouses as I present the Golden Mermaid Award to Elizabeth Schlemmer.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Elizabeth really doesn't have much to say in the microphone. She doesn't like that much. But
She did
that's
great.
great. She did do good, yes. And all 3 award winners are great. That's great. Thanks, Amphicar, for bringing that. I want to also, while we're here, recognize and ask to stand up all the board members. There's 7 members of the Amphicar board. 1 member is not here today because it's David Chapman in England. And he's been to Celina a few times, but this year there's a big Amphicar amphibious vehicle event this same weekend in Europe, so he's staying there. But we have Mike Eschman. We have Rick Young. And Ava, the new baby, and Doug Parsons. Dave DeWay. And Bill Conley. Still in the water, maybe?
Yes. He's waterlogged.
This year is the 10th annual convention and swim-in of the International Amphicar Club. It's the 5th time that we've been here to Celina. Prior to coming to Celina, the most Amphicars ever to come to a national event of the club was like 12 or 13, and they were held in upstate New York. And coming here to Celina, there's really been a big turnaround in attendance. But one person that's a member of the club has attended every individual swim-in since the very first one in New York. And if Frank Carrion would come up here for just a moment.
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear anything the guy said. So.
Frank has brought his Amphicar to every swim-in, first one being in 1994, I guess. But in any case, in recognition of attendance for 10 consecutive years of Amphicar swim-ins, this plaque is presented to Frank Carrion Jr. on this 26th day of July 2003 on the occasion of the 10th annual convention and swim-in of the International Amphicar Owners Club. Being the only member to have attended each of the 10 annual events with his Amphicar, this award is to recognize his dedication to the amphibious lifestyle and to show the club's appreciation of his commitment. Thank you, Frank.
Oh, shucks. I'm not really good at talking in front of people. I just like to say, now, how much time you got? Shut up, sit down.
Can't use your hand.
No, I just remember when we first started the club, it was about 7 or 8 cars or something. And I can't believe how big this got. It's the best. It's really cool. I have the best time. I use my car once a year. I feel like I just got it every time I go in. It's just great. Everybody's really great. I have a really good time. I just want to say Amphicar's are the most fun you can have with your clothes on. And that's all I got to say.
Okay, we're all getting about ready to eat. We want to, before we cut loose and eat, we've got 2 door prizes that we want to give away. Now these are the red tickets. Everyone's available, has a chance at the door prize. The first prize that we want to give is this 19-inch TV VCR combo that the club has, the plaque doesn't go, but that the club has wanted to give away. Mike, why don't you draw this while you're up? 127-367. Okay, and the other door prize that we have, each year Gordon Imports gives no, they give a wonderful door prize. This year is certainly no exception. This gift certificate to Gordon Imports for $375. I ask again, does everyone have a red ticket?
I can buy a new water pump.
Okay. 127409. Oh, Michelle Corwin family got that. While we're standing in line, there's a lot of raffle prizes that have been donated by the Eagles, by the St. Croix Valley Amphicar Club, by Tim Wicks giving some stuff. Keith Nazarian gave some videos. Gloria, Tiller, and Phyllis, and some others have worked on this raffle. You all have been really generous buying these tickets. She says that she has $620 worth of raffle tickets, all going to the benefit of Celina area flood victims from the last few weeks. That's a great turnout. You all should be. The club is going to, out of the funds of the club, take that $600 and whatever dollars and match that dollar for dollar to give back to the town of Celina.
$716-124, Ron Green.
716-693.
Wow, that was...
Announcements are done by other folks, and y'all have a good time, and we'll see you next year and tomorrow.
Chocolate cream, candy donuts, candy donuts, with little pink hearts, rainbow sprinkles, topped with cheese. Candy donuts, candy donuts, jelly spread, make 'em